So, hi everybody. I thought I'd share this information with you guys. Um, I'm filming at the end of August, so this was a fairly recent event. This video will be posted in October, but this is still worth sharing. I had been threatened with a lawsuit recently. So, to make an extremely long story short, I've added a link to the blog post if you're kind of curious to read about what happened, but I'll get to that shortly. I had posted a blog post about a company that does Instagram marketing. And they were very similar to, if anyone happened to see that Super B Media video that I posted, it was a site very similar to that one. I won't name them because I'm kind of annoyed with them, and knowing that they did threaten to sue, I'd rather err on the side of caution. But anyways, so the company basically sent me an email stating that I had 24 hours to remove my post or I was going to be sued. Well, it was a Friday night. I figured, okay, they won't do anything to me till Monday. Well, Monday afternoon rolls around and I get another email claiming to be from their co-founder or founder, whoever the email source was. It was somebody that claimed to be high up in that company. So they sent me another email basically threatening that I had 24 hours to remove my post or they were going to sue me. That was email 2. So I replied back to the email and I asked, why do I need to remove my post? What was wrong? So to make a really long story short, we went through back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in an email chain. And finally, after like the third or fourth email, the higher up from the company stated that I had cost them $500,000 in revenue, which I highly doubt. And that apparently if I didn't take my post down, I was going to be sued for defamation of their website and lying. And I don't know what else the other thing was. It was a long-winded email. But what I did notice as that email chain went on is that the person became more and more hostile. I noticed at first it was like just a simple, you have 24 hours to remove your email or we'll sue you. And then suddenly it went into that I was costing them revenue and I was defaming them and I was basically bad-mouthing their service, which I wasn't. If anybody that follows my blog has seen some of the posts that I share that are basically informative posts about possible scams, like what I do with you guys here or what I do here on YouTube, it was basically something like that where I stated, do your homework before you pay money to these types of organizations, because these companies are ridiculously expensive. This one happened to be between almost $1,500 to almost $4,500 for their marketing and verification of your Instagram. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Instagram verifies you for free. You don't have to pay for anything. You're not charged for anything unless that is a requirement through Instagram. But when I looked into it, they verify you for free. You can go ahead and go through your settings and you send in the documents that they ask for. Usually it's some form of ID, possibly if you live in the US, a social security number, things like that that prove that you are you. And they go through that process. But basically this company just became very hostile, and the thing that I thought was funny though is that I never received an email from somebody claiming to be their lawyer's department or anything. It was just straight back and forth between me and the higher up who claimed that I was doing so much damage to their company. I was the only person that wrote a post about that company. I'm sorry that that's what happened, but it's not my fault. I was the only person that wrote about them. And this morning I had a very interesting back and forth with the gentleman who was in the same boat. He was wondering if their company was real because apparently they had been sending emails back and forth, I guess, to his wife, and they wanted to know if it was really a legitimate company. So that's what I want to tell you guys. So there are a couple different lawsuit types, especially if you're a content creator. As I mentioned, the company that threatened to sue me claimed defamation. So basically they can claim, depending on your content type, like if you're a blogger, they can claim basically defamation, slander, libel, basically plagiarism or copyright issues if you're using somebody's photo without their permission, somebody's music without their permission. Very similar to what happens here on YouTube when they strike somebody's video because it has a popular song in it or something like that. Again, it can also cross platforms, like if you're somebody that's an Instagrammer or somebody that's a photographer, things like that. So basically, it's those types of things. So you kind of have to be careful with what you say. You kind of have to be careful with what you do. And especially if you're doing like photo and media or written or print, depending again on what form of content you're using, the lawsuits may vary. But my option or my type was the company was claiming defamation, and whatever else they were claiming was something else like that. So the resources that come to mind right now are basically just double checking with anybody that is knowledgeable with law in your state, especially if you're a small blogger and you have your blog as your business. Contact your local small business association and see if they might be able to help you. Also check with your own state, because I know every state has different rules. I did find one resource called, what is it called? It's called the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and I added some links to them in the description below, and they did have a pretty interesting little blog post about legal issues and bloggers. I think they're based here in California. So here in California, it states that bloggers can be considered journalists. Again, that may be a bit of a slippery slope in terms of what content you're creating. And another thing I would think is just, again, ask friends if you think that your post is defaming or bad mouthing, for the lack of a better word, whatever the company claims they're doing. Because that's what I did. I asked a group of friends that I have on Instagram, and I asked them if anybody thought that I was basically speaking poorly about the brand. And everyone agreed with me that I wasn't. So here are my final thoughts. If you are threatened to be sued, ask the company what they expect of you. If it's something as simple as removing your post, think about it. If you feel that they're trying to bully you or intimidate you like I did, I would say just ask questions. Ask them why they felt that your post or your photo or whatever your piece of content was how it hurt them and why they felt that it needs to be removed. I would have fought the lawsuit against that Instagram marketing company, but I figured being that it's 2020, I wouldn't put it past them that they would have sued me just because they could. And quite frankly, I don't have anything they want, so it's kind of silly for them to wage a lawsuit against a little blog like mine. And it's not like I have anything that they can take, so it was just kind of silly. That's why basically I caved. I felt that my post was very informative because it had a lot of people investigating it, or at least viewing it. So that was kind of a loss, and it kind of made me angry. But what I did find very funny was that not 3 hours after I canceled, or after I sent the email saying that my post had been removed from my website, I haven't heard from the company again. But 3 hours after I removed my post, I received an email that was directed from my Instagram to my blog email with a sales ad for them. So for a company that hated me or really disliked me or was very upset with me, they still wanted me to buy their product. So what does that tell you? I still think that they're a scam, in my opinion. But I hope this information was informative. And if anybody else has faced this, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. So contact me and let me know. Have a good day. Bye.